online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah. What? No, you wasn't. No, they ain't right.
I'm in the studio right now.
This is what we feeling like right about now up in her. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to the pilot episode of Fox's original series, Empire, starring Academy Award nominated Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. You can go Terrence Howard or Taraji P. Henson, whichever one you want to go. Yo, we're right back to Craig. What's his name? Craig Brewer's. What movie was that they were in?
Hustle and Flow.
Hustle and Flow. But they done well for themselves since then, huh? They're doing good. Even though Cookie just got out. So, you know, we see that certain people ain't loyal, it seems like, in this episode.
Good fight into it.
You know what I'm saying? So, I think Lucious, I should say Lucious. You can call another man delicious. He seems like he's having some loyalty issues, but he's trying to work it out. You know, I'm really, really proud of these people for jumping on a network and doing a television show. In fact, I'm gonna give kudos to Fox for even going this direction. You know, Lee Daniels, of course. Lee Daniels. Yes. You got this executive music supervisors, Timbaland.
Yes.
Oh, really? Yes.
No, you're supposed to know that.
The music's amazing too.
Yeah, the music is amazing.
Yeah. You're a genius.
They're doing a really good job on the music, and I hope, or I would think, that they're gonna like go the Glee route with this and start dropping stuff on iTunes, because that's Glee.
A good idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they did.
They
on
are.
Glee. They covered songs, and then they dropped.
But
it on
Glee
iTunes.
actually did like every song, and they did full ones. They kind of do snippets, and it's like
They tour and stuff. Are you
Yeah.
gonna see them tour anytime soon?
no,
From Empire? No.
No, I mean, I would download some of that. Some of that music was really good.
Yeah, it
so
was.
I can see a lot of the fans actually downloading some of this music. Anyway, I'm your host Thaddeus Massey, and joining me today is
Erica J. Green.
Lina Green.
And Bamm Ericsen.
And so you guys are familiar with the shenanigans that are going to go up in her. You guys remember Erica, myself, and Bam from Showtime's Power. You know, we're not here to talk about that. But
There are lots of
we got
comparisons.
a new host here. Her name is Lina Green. She looks familiar. She looks very resembles the girl next to me right here.
A little bit.
We'll talk about that later. And we'll unfold that scenario as the season goes on. So anyway. I love how there's a lot of flashbacks in this episode. We see the episode starts where Taraji P. Henson's character Cookie, she is locked up.
Yeah.
You know, I love when they do flashback sequences because it brings you in, it pulls you in as a viewer. Like if they didn't do that, I'd be like, okay, what's going on? But Lee Daniels, like this is a director who knows what he's doing, and him going from films,
in here.
yeah, him doing films and then going into television. I'm saying kudos to that because I didn't know how I was gonna take this show.
Yeah.
Right.
From the
Off the
previews,
bat.
it's not great. The previews doesn't make it look great, but watching it, I was like, okay, first I was on the fence, and then I was like, okay, I see where they're going, and then seeing what's coming up next, I'm really wanting to stay tuned now.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you were saying.
I had no idea that Lee Daniels had anything to do with it until I actually watched the episode, and then I saw the credits. I was like, oh, this makes sense.
Everything
it was good, and I was like, it has a very cinematic feel to it. Yeah. So I was impressed with what they were pulling off.
Have you not watched television? He's been like promoting like crazy.
They're doing an amazing job with the promotion.
I don't watch television. I'm too busy making money.
Sorry for that.
Go ahead, Bam. What do you think about this opening sequence that happened with well, not that happened, but that was occurring. That how they introduced us to the characters and how they were just pretty much getting us familiar with what we're going to be in store for the season.
I thought it was great.
You thought it was great.
I did. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way for. I'm glad that they started as she was coming out of jail, and so as she's coming out of jail, then you see the transition shots between her coming out of jail and then him getting ready to announce this whole big level of how he's taking the Empire Entertainment, and not realizing that his ex-wife is now about to get out of jail. So I thought it was great how they were moving the two, because he clearly didn't know what was going on until his older son, Andre, revealed that information. So he didn't even know. And when he found out that Cookie was released from jail early, you saw the fear in his face, how he did the double take, like, what happened?
Right.
Like,
So
really?
dramatic.
Why was he so fearful? Just because he knew that she was going to come for a piece of the empire or give up all the secrets?
If we were married for 17 years and I chose not to have anything to do with you while you were in jail, and
She was in jail for 17 years.
she was in jail for 17 years,
crazy.
and the fact that
He hasn't visited her.
I haven't visited, and I pretty much left you out cold. I don't let you see your kids.
He put money on her books, though. He
Wait
had
a
to,
minute.
yeah.
I'm not sure if they said he didn't actually.
No, he didn't go see
Well,
her.
no,
his-
she told him not to, let
bring
them
the kids, yeah.
bring the kids.
Right.
Yeah. So,
But he divorced her while in
she
jail.
was in jail.
So what does that say?
I mean, it says that he was trying to save image,
And
even though
move
she was the
on.
one who did the sacrifice.
That says
Absolutely
that women
not.
do that to men all the time when they get
I
locked
don't know.
up. So
the
why
fat
not?
one. We're pretty faithful.
But I think he was fearful because he knew he did her wrong.
Right.
He did her wrong, and as you can tell by Cookie's personality, she doesn't take shit. So he kind of feared what would happen to not only his company, but him as a person.
I want to expound on that because I know somebody online is going to correct me. That wasn't the opening sequence. The opening sequence actually was the girl in the studio
That I wanted
who
to
was
say some.
singing. No,
Yeah.
you can correct me. It's
She
okay.
was
That's
great.
what we're here for. It just hit me right now. Like the girl who was in there singing. I'm not
Phenomenal.
sure if she's an actress or she was
She's a
really
singer.
singing.
She's a singer.
She's a real singer. Does anybody know who this is?
No.
This artist
No,
is?
but I'm gonna
she's
look
phenomenal.
her up.
Okay, so if anybody out there that watches the show, any of our AfterBuzzers out there know who this artist is that was actually singing in the opening scenes of Empire, please let us know who
Yeah.
this
Tweet
is.
us.
Because she is absolutely
Phenomenal.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whoever she is. She was out of control. You know what's funny is in that scene, this must be what Puffy does in the studio when he's trying to like pull something out of the artist. Because he had that Puffy ass, and I'm sure Terrence like pulled from a little bit of Puffy and pulled from a little bit of Master P and pulled from a little bit of Russell. I'm sure he had influences that he was like, I'm going to reference different people for this character. But
Seemed like your brother just. I was like,
well, her brother apparently had
Yeah.
just died,
Yeah.
so she, the fact that he was able to pull that out of her,
Yeah.
vocally, I was like, how much more can she do? Like,
I
she
could
was-
just give a hand
she
clap
was
for
already
the
blowing.
music on the show is amazing. That's one thing that first I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence because I don't know where it's going. I know it's about the empire and I know it's about, someone trying to, take claims to what's theirs. But then the music just immediately drew me into this show.
Right.
Because the music is so well done. And, congrats to Timbaland being part of the music portion of this, but I was just blown away by all of the music on the show. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's really great. They need to keep that up.
Well, what is it? Lucious.
Lucious.
So,
Lucious.
so when his character was asking his artist to do that, he was really, that was like a personal testimony for him because he's dying.
Right.
So
Which we don't find out. I mean, they don't.
I wish that didn't come up so quickly.
They don't. Well, they don't. They allude to it they say it at the end, which I'm kind of glad they allude to it throughout the whole show. Like there's something big coming, and everybody kind of knows.
But I would have loved to see him like slowly. Not, I wouldn't have loved to see him, but I would have liked to see
Deteriorate.
that in the slowly deteriorate, and then we try to figure out what's going on with him. What does he have? Instead of them immediately off the first episode saying, "Oh, this is what's going on. He's gonna die in 3 years." I would have loved to just seen that more drawn out, and see Cookie get a little concerned about his health,
but
and
the
everyone get concerned about his health.
But the death is what's causing the new problems, because now one of the three sons now have to step up. So now there's conflict between the sons. Now Cookie's back. So it makes sense story-wise for him to die, because you have to remember this is TV.
Yeah.
So they can do 10 seasons and it only be 2 years. So he's not going to die on the show
Yeah.
per se, because it wouldn't make sense for him to die, you know, at the end of the season, and then where they're gonna go.
That's kind of like the climax of like, okay, this is what's happening. This is the driving force that's motivating him to like take these steps.
And that's why they have to introduce that in the first episode.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, there's a couple things like what happened with his boy Bunky that he used to, like, you came up with him since he
The
was,
one the Fat Al look like?
yeah.
I was like, I did not get the connection of this.
His boy that he's known since he was 14.
I'm sorry.
that- yeah.
Can I say this? The way he dressed, I was confused what year this show was
like, who
placed in.
wears
I was like,
velour?
what year is this show? Is the
Yeah,
show
but he's
present
not.
day?
He's not. Yeah, but yeah, it is. But you gotta remember, he's an older cat.
Yeah.
He's
I'm just sorry.
He's
did it good.
he's Lucious' boy. They grew
He
up
got
together.
velour.
He got
his-
this big chain. Oh, I'm sorry.
wear
That
velour.
no, that's
You
cool.
can wear velour, it's
No,
cool.
if you rock a big chain,
I
that's
can rock
fine.
whatever I want.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I can do whatever I want to do.
Okay.
I thought y'all knew. Anyway, so he's obviously an older dude. So he's like on some throwback hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Like some
That's what it is.
old school Def Jam. You know,
Hey, he might bring
probably
velour
has some-
back though. People
And he
will
had the
start
big
wearing
rope
it.
chain on, like the old school LL Cool J.
I'm
like,
so confused.
you know, throwback. So it was obvious, you know, he was just like not doing anything with himself because he hasn't evolved.
Yeah.
You know, he's just kind of living off
that
of,
was
you know, that's part of his wardrobe,
Okay, I
right?
get it
So he
now.
hasn't evolved as a person. He just lives off of Lucious, his boy. And then Lucious is tired of paying him and, you know, paying off his bets. But this is kind of going into predictions. Whoever this Shine guy is, this bookie or whoever that Bunky owes that money to, I bet you he's gonna say,
it's gonna follow.
you owe me that money now. Because he
So
owed
what
it
would
to
have
me.
been the point of killing him then? I really don't understand
Because
why.
it was a problem that he was eradicating. He wasn't proving himself to be worthy,
Useful.
He wasn't useful at all. Like even when he said, you know, oh, Cookie's out, you supposed to know. You supposed to tell me that. You supposed to be on top of that.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell him. He
So
didn't know.
it-
He said, oh, she ain't nothing. Like blah blah blah.
So if you are, not only is he the homeboy, but he's somewhat like security, and he's his
Right.
his second or third year, whatever you want to call it.
He probably was real useful back in the day when
He
Lucious
was.
was the man.
Yeah.
So in the entourage, he had this one dude, but now Lucious is more behind the scenes, kind of running the Empire and Empire Entertainment, right? So he's like, doesn't do anything. He doesn't fit a role really anymore.
And he needed to die, quite frankly, because
Tell him.
he needed to die because
his-
he's making threats.
And he could pull a gun out. Came to the dude's house, pulls
and
out
put
a
a
gun.
He was wrong for that, but still to kill someone you grew up with at the age of 14, you're on the come up. You
have to-
the people that were with you in the beginning. I'm not for it.
But you have his wife, who's already a huge conflict, and he has to kind of
Contain her.
He has to contain her. Now you have the homeboy that's also now coming after you. You can't control Cookie. You can't kill Kick. You can't kill Kick. Kill
Cookie.
Kiki. Sorry,
Kill
Cookie.
Cookie.
Kill
But-
the cookie.
Cool Kiki.
But the other home guy, the Bunky, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
there's really no more use for him, and you don't know what he's gonna do or say. He can kind of somewhat
He's a
control
liability.
Cookie. Yeah, he's a liability, basically.
Yeah, he was mad.
Well, before we keep going on with this, I kind of want to go through these characters 'cause we see a lot of new actors in this, and I love that. You know,
Yes.
the son's like
Yes.
the rapper, the boy.
Hakeem.
There was a lot of publicity about him, you know, before he got on the show. They were talking about, that was like, oh, Lee Daniels casted this, you know, rapper, this young rapper who's up and coming. So it's like,
Played by
I
Brashear
wasn't
Gray.
aware he was a real rapper.
yeah, he was.
No, you can tell he's a real rapper.
Yeah, he got.
Oh, he's
when
funny.
he does his rapping part, he's so in it.
Yeah.
like he in it. His eyes are like, I'm in a home.
Well, I really appreciate
I'm
his
not a
character,
rapper or
though.
anything.
Yeah,
but
we know.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, I do a little
you
something,
gotta
but
get me
that's
fooled for a
later.
minute.
Okay. Well, don't play.
was fooled for a
No,
second.
but I was really excited to see
And-
these new actors coming up on a huge. This is a huge network,
Yes.
and Lee Daniels taking the
The opportunities, yeah.
he's putting these
That's
huge
amazing.
actors
Right.
with these actors, and they're learning a lot. I'm
Yeah.
sure they are, because Terrence is giving it all.
Well,
Yes.
then let's just break it down. So
Yeah.
once the announcement is made that the Empire Entertainment is not going to go public, then he wants to have a meeting with his sons.
That is going to go public.
That is going to go public.
Right.
So now he's saying that one of you guys need to
Step up.
You know, one is step up, and when they're all in the table, you can pretty much alter their characters. So I guess we can continue with the little youngster. He's a little bastard. I don't like him.
I don't.
You know,
I
he's-
don't wanna say that.
Let's start with the oldest son.
Oh, start with
Let's start with the oldest son and work our way down.
I love his
Okay,
role. He's
this
killing it.
the guy Andre. Andre and his trophy wife.
It's such a cliche.
Rhonda.
Like,
yeah, but you can tell he lives that,
he,
life. He went to college and he did
I date a white
everything.
girl, I'm better.
But do you think they did the cliches a little too much?
They did.
With all three of the sons, you have the one who's gay.
The gutter, the rapper
You have
one.
the gutter one. You have the one who's...
But it also shows within
the community.
Within the community or just family, although they were all privileged, you see one who was able to take advantage of being privileged. Then you have the one who decided to do the music, and then you have within
one trying to find his place, which is Jamal. Yeah.
So you have within a family of how three different people who had nothing to struggle with see how they were able to attain and become who they are. So I think it was great for these three brothers to be so different.
It's crazy you said that because it's like they're mimicking their dad in some way. They're all trying to be like him. Yeah. One wants to own the company. One wants to be a rapper. One wants to find his place in this business. And so they're all mimicking him in some way. That's that's kind of... Daniels, boy. On some other stuff. It's deep.
What?
Man, that was deep. That was deep.
Did you just figure that out?
A lot of mercy. A lot of yeah, and he, Lee Daniels does have a reputation for actually spotting unknown talent and bringing it to the forefront, like he did with Gabrielle Sidibe, and she's actually in this. She plays Becky, who is the sassy little assistant to Lucious Lyon.
Do you think that was an inside joke to call her Becky?
I have no idea.
But let me explain why. Because when she auditioned for Precious, Lee Daniels has always said that when they spoke prior to the audition, he heard her speak and he was like, well, who is this girl? Because she's talks like a white girl from the Valley. But then when she came and gave her audition, he was completely blown away, which thus she got the part. So I'm thinking Becky kind of played off the fact that in real life and
she looks amazing.
She's very she's like a Becky.
I mean, I like that though.
It's a good assistant name too.
I mean, I like that, and she does look good. She's lost a lot of weight, and they're making. Yeah, I love that look that they got her. She's looking sassy.
I would love to see her character grow, though. She's a nominated actress. She's phenomenal. She's a really good actress. I've seen her in other projects, and I'm like, I would love to see her in a bigger role as part of this empire.
She's the secretary. She's not the focus. She's a special guest, so she's not a series regular. She's a special guest.
Really?
So you're not going to see her all the time.
Because she can be shooting movies, doing other stuff,
and she's on other shows.
Yeah.
Like she working.
But let's continue with the brothers. So we have Andre, who I think went to Yale, which he did.
Was it Yale?
Is it Harvard?
Ivy League.
He went to some Ivy League school. Went to business school, and he studied always came home for the summer and
looks like he would be the best. He would be the best.
And then he taught his dad some things about accounting. So then you have the middle son. What is his name? Jamal. So then Jamal is the real musical talent.
Right.
And he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He's also gay.
Right.
And
that's the reason he's not getting the respect.
Yeah.
They're afraid that the community won't accept him coming out because the black community
it's homophobic or whatever.
And then you have the
whatever.
Yeah. And then you have the young one who's kind of the spoiled rich one.
Hakeem. He never knew what it was like to, because you see the flashback scenes. You can actually see Andre and Hakeem at a certain age where they can actually experience some of the poverty.
Yeah.
And I guess when he went to jail, Cookie. When Cookie went to jail,
he was
Hakeem apparently was like less than 1 year. He wasn't even in one yet.
Yeah, he was.
So he was like still a baby.
Yeah. He didn't even know. And I mean, at first I didn't think he recognized her. And I was like, does he recognize that his mom?
But to call your mama a B, I don't care if you don't know her. She
well, I mean, good job. You got to think about it.
Good job.
He's living a certain kind of lifestyle. He doesn't know her at all from Adam. And then for her to come and whatever, not excusing it or justifying because it's not acceptable. But his world is about to be like... His kind of turn. He's in a comfortable place, and he's still trying to find himself at the same time. As an artist, he's trying to rap. He's trying to. The next thing you know, who's this woman that's gonna come up acting like Mama put the smack down? But I really like how Mama came and put the smack down on him.
And Tyrese fashion too.
With the broomstick, and he deserved it. And then next time you see him, he had to not subside his face. He said, "Oh, I see you met your mama." That was dope.
What I also think is interesting, if you notice the brothers. They refer to their mom when she's not present. They call her Cookie.
Right.
in front of her, they call her mom.
Right.
And so I think that's really interesting how, although they don't know her due to she not wanting to see them, or if it had something to do with Lucious, but there's a respect factor or fear or something that they have with their mom, regardless of how they feel about her.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember that she's been gone for 17 years, right?
Yeah.
So being locked up for 17 years, I'm sure she's been referred to, and her presence is, they're not used to having her around.
Yeah.
So whenever they have a conversation in reference to her, they're just automatically going to say Cookie, because that's how everybody talked about her, because she hasn't been around at all for 17 years. So that totally makes sense.
But what is this thing that Andre, the oldest son, Andre, is trying to do with Cookie, trying to like kind of make her the
Well, see, here
come between the two younger brothers? Really, you're the oldest brother, supposed to look out for your younger brother.
Well, see, that's not really his fault. What Lucious has done is he's actually come in and pitted them all three against each other to find out who is going to be the one to kind of run the empire.
And it should be him. Like, he's the one who's been doing it, the business aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be.
I wonder what the mind frame of Lucious is, that he doesn't see that. He's obviously
wants somebody famous to do it.
Best at that.
I don't know if it's necessarily if he thinks it should be famous, but if that's what he needs to say to get into his older son's mind, then that's what he's going to say, because
To make him work harder.
not only to make him work harder, but because he really wants to figure out who's going to be in charge. And so, as a business person, he's going to say things to get you inside and to get inside your head. So I think he said that only for that reason.
Well, at the end of the day, just because he's good at business doesn't mean he's good at being the head of the company or being the face of the company. And I think Lucious is looking at a couple of those things, because at the end of the day, how did he come to power to rise and build Empire Entertainment, right? He was a celebrity himself. He was an artist himself.
Which they didn't really go in depth with that.
They kind of threw it.
I mean,
Well, they did it on the flashbacks.
With-
how he was a
and
celebrity,
little things,
and then
but-
when he got out of the car, coming back from the studio, he was signing a lot of CDs.
Yeah, and they were different CDs, so it
they were different
alludes to
CDs.
the fact that he's had multiple CDs, multiple hits.
Right.
Yeah.
I want them to do more flashbacks about his life as it, because
before.
even when Cookie's looking at
I'm
all
sure they are.
the stuff, and I want to see.
I wanna see his
how
career,
that all
yeah,
unveiled and with
unfolds.
her there and to come up. But yeah, that's what I want.
No, Bamm?
Just
So I would say let's kind of go with the story now, because you have her out. She's out, and now so after she goes and see the middle son.
I have one
Jamal.
question.
So
Why
we'll see
was
Jamal first.
Yeah, she.
Why was she dressed like a hooker? At first, I thought
Because
her
that's-
job was.
That's what 17 years ago.
That's what she had. That was her outfit she wore when she went to jail.
But she was selling drugs, right? When she got busted, it wasn't hooking, was it?
Well, we don't.
do we know
We
what
don't
she
know.
got
They
busted
said she
on?
was
Yeah.
selling drugs. No,
She
she
was-
said I was caught selling drugs. That's what she said. That's what she said. I didn't. What was I?
I mean, maybe
I'm
that
not
was the
sure.
fashion 17 years ago.
At first, I was just confused. I was like, was she a hooker?
Well, that
or
was like
something?
98,
Yeah.
97, 98, something like
I
that.
was just
As you were saying,
So
Bamm.
anyway, go ahead, man.
I was confused.
I would say let's break it down. So once Cookie goes, she arrives. She sees
Jamal.
She sees Jamal. What did you guys think the dynamic of Cookie and Jamal?
I think she just feels like this is my son that needs the most protection, especially from his father. You saw from the flashbacks, he was very abused from the father. But she sees that he has the most potential to be a star. I think she really does feel that. Even when she was watching him sing at the nightclub, you could just see it like in her eyes while she was watching him, like, this boy has it. I mean, I don't know what he's afraid of, what he's stepping back from, but he has it. And I love that she sees that and she wants to use that to bring him out.
It's it's interesting that he's the first person that she went to go see. Once she gets out,
I wasn't surprised
Well,
that
she doesn't have a relationship with Hakeem.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what she's going to get from Andre, especially since Andre.
Well, I
is,
would
like,
think Lucious, because
right
I mean,
under
he
the-
owes her the most. He owes her.
But you want to see her
Yeah,
sons
but
first.
she understands when she goes to see Lucius. Remember, they have a history, and that's going to be a confrontation. That's
Yeah.
not going to be a home welcoming.
Yeah.
You know, simply because she feels like you owe me, blah blah blah, and you divorced me while I'm in jail. So obviously, some things and some perceptions in her mind
Yeah.
that she's going to have to come at him a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
Her children are going to be her children. Are going to be her
Regardless.
children, regardless. So obviously, she's going to go see Jamal because they obviously have the closest relationship.
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
see it that way. But
what do you guys think about
The little Mexican cucaracha.
What?
her?
she was doing too much.
Yeah, she was doing a lot.
she's quite honest. She referenced him as a queen. For a queen to live like this is unacceptable. And then she referenced his live-in boyfriend as a she. When he refused to let her manage, when the middle son refused to let the mom manage, she called him some kind of sissy.
Sissy, she said
Stupid sissy.
She called him a stupid sissy.
I didn't like that.
What do you guys
that.
think about that? What do you think about that? Because clearly she loves her son. Yeah. She defends him. She literally almost fought Lucious when he tried to put him
Lucious.
I
know, I can say Lucious. I'm like
Terrence. When on the flashback, she literally tried to beat his ass, and then she kicked him before going up the stairs when he put the little boy in the trash. So obviously she cares and she knows.
That really broke my heart to see that.
Yeah,
it gave me.
That was
a powerful
son
scene,
and then put him in the trash like that, like he was worthless.
like he was nothing.
And those are the kind of things that happen with a child that is so psychologically and emotionally scarring that would not allow him or just keep himself from like realizing his own dreams and even his
potential
and even his own talent. Like what he goes to perform, he does it just simply because he loves music that much and he's pouring out of music. But the reality is he would already be a star if he had his dad's support and love.
Yeah.
And he's always sought that. Just like, for example, when they're in the studio, right? And Hakeem was, doing his thing, and he was like, yeah, and then, Terrence goes in there, Lucious goes in there to see him, and he says, yeah, Jamal helped me with most of it and he just said, oh, did he? Kind of thing. And then
did he look like he was
and then
proud?
he didn't look
not
proud.
at Jamal.
No, not at Jamal. He actually dismissed Jamal's contribution to any of the music and said, you did, that's all you. That came from you. You're the monster. And then he just like, it's like, wow, I can't do.
Yeah.
I'm even helping the son that you want to blow up become a star, and you can't even like give me any credit for that.
Well, him asking him several times to denounce that he's gay it was the telltale sign that he's not willing to accept that, even on death. He's not willing to accept his son being gay. He's just not willing to. And that's, I mean, maybe it's the nature of the business. Maybe that's the nature of his manhood. I don't know, pride.
Grew up,
how he grew up. But I mean, he already told him when they had to sit down, he was like, I need you to like women, which is not that easy.
I need you not to be yourself.
It's
I mean, anybody but you.
But I mean, it is what it is. But
I mean, part of me, I don't know. Maybe some of the audience members can, weigh in, give their feedback, put their 2 cents, whatever. Just, I'm not sure if it's more because he's ashamed himself, or he feels like, because his talent is undeniable.
Yeah.
And he, he knows that his son is talented.
He didn't want to give him up in the beginning to Cookie.
He didn't. He didn't. But at the same time, is it because he feels like he can't market him properly? Is that why he really wants it? I'm sure, I know it's a personal thing, because obviously the fact that it affected him when he was younger, before he was even a star, showed any musical kind of ability, he was ashamed of him having a son that looked like he would do things that were kind of like. I think at the same time, he used the whole marketing thing, like, I need you to sleep with women, blah blah blah, because you're not going to appeal to the community for you to sell records.
And he's saying like the white kids that buy it, but it's like.
Oh, do you think he's using that as an excuse?
Yeah, I think he's using it as an excuse. He hates the fact. I believe that he hates the fact that his son is gay, but to make it come off in a business professional way, he uses the excuse to say, well, you know what, I don't think we can do this because blah blah blah, and you're not marketable.
Why do y'all think that Lee Daniels and the rest of the writers on the show made that so prevalent? Well, that the fact that the son is gay and he's trying to denounce his son. Why? I was trying to figure that out. Like, this is an empire, so I was thinking that it would be about building up this empire. We want to make this strong with, through a family unit. So why is it so much against, family against family against family?
Well, it's not, because it's not about building the empire. The empire is there. It's about maintaining what's already there.
But to go against each other?
Well, I did some. I saw a couple of interviews with Lee and Taraji and Terrence and Brian Grazer and the crew of people who helped put this together, and they reference a lot of Dynasty Dallas, which were soap operas in the 80s, as well as mixed with King Lear and The Godfather. So it's a mixture. If you notice between the music and so forth, it's like a nighttime soap opera. So with the soap opera and family and Dynasty and Dallas, that's pretty much what Dallas Dynasty, Falcon Crest, all those shows would be today in 2014 is family dysfunction. 15. Thank you.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because I didn't even see that interview, and just listening to the score, I could hear the Dynasty and I could hear the Godfather.
The Godfather.
And I was telling somebody about it. I was like,
That was me.
It sounds like, was that you? I was
someone somewhere.
Yeah, so I didn't even see the interview or anything, but I was listening to the score and I could hear the Dynasty. I was like, this is like Dynasty or Falcon Crest or something with the music. And then they've got Godfather. You know, when he bumped off Bunky into the river, they did a score. It was a Godfather score right after. For me, I'm not feeling that.
Did he pick the check for me? I'm sorry.
That for
No,
me
he
is
did not.
I'm not really. Did he put the what?
The
check.
He didn't pick the check
He gave
up.
him a check before he
and
killed him.
when he killed him, he didn't pick the check up.
I don't
The
know.
wind's gonna blow into the river and it's gonna dissolve. Whatever.
I kept thinking about that for some reason while I was watching. I don't know.
I'm not really feeling the Godfather-ish and the Dynasty-esque scores. For me, it's just like a little cheesy.
You want some more originality in it?
Yeah,
Okay.
to come up with his own original, like something similar, but not the same. It's like they're just like flipped the notes and just like did their own variation of the same thing.
Well, people like that. They like to reminisce about things that were great in the past, and then bringing a little bit of that element into it. It doesn't bother me.
It didn't take away from it.
Yeah, because they have their own music and flavor in it.
It did for me.
I don't know. I mean,
I think it would have done fine without that. Because to me it was strong. That kind of added an element of.
Do you think that it was added to kind of light heart just a little bit some of the
drama,
the drama and the topics, because some of the subject matters are so kind of in your face?
I don't know why they did it, but for me, it doesn't fit the gritty nature of the show. The show is obviously based on what's going on. We're going to be expecting a lot,
A lot of death.
a lot of stuff that go on that's really gritty. And for me, that's those score pieces don't really fit.
him shooting
show.
Bunky kind of
In the face.
Yeah, that was a lot for me.
His own blood squirted on his shot on his face.
That was the grandfather aspect, the Godfather.
Yeah, that was Godfather.
The Godfather.
But it wasn't. I just didn't feel like if they would have come up with an original. Well, it is an original score, but something that was less inspired, you know, so to speak. I would say.
So,
other than that, I was fine with the rest of the music, but you know, those aspects of it were just a little bit too much for me.
So then, what do you guys think about when Taraji and Terrence's character meet, and so she says she wants half, and the agreement that they came up with was
close to $3 million. She was gonna work, you know, get a salary.
No, they didn't. That wasn't an agreement. That's what she wanted.
She wanted $5 million.
She wanted
She wanted
$5 million,
$5
and he said, "I'll get you close to $3 million."
And she,
told her.
and she wants to be an A&R. So what do you think about the
Well, he's got
dynamics?
somebody for that.
Well, first of all, before we go into that, I love Taraji's
chemistry.
and Terrence chemistry. I don't know if it's just them being so real, but they have like mad good chemistry.
Of course,
Just-
we know why they've done quite a few
Yeah.
films together. I saw a lot of references saying that it was
Hustle
like a
and Flow.
Hustle and Flow #2 or Baby Boy mixed with Hustle and Flow and all.
Did y'all
of
feel that way? Like
No.
When they were together, it was like magic. When Tyrese Henson and Terrence Howard were
Yeah.
together, but I just
No, I didn't. I didn't feel like that at all. I just felt like they really transformed just to different characters and everything, the scenarios.
well,
the
no,
settings were all
not
different.
the characters. I'm just saying their chemistry
chemistry.
together. Just like every time they were in a scene together, it just was a little bit more
Fire.
on it than any other scenes. It
Fire.
was just
Well,
they
you gotta
really
remember,
had something.
You got to remember in Hustle and Flow, she played the domestic, like the real like passive, submissive character in Hustle and Flow.
Well, I'm not
She
talking
didn't
about the
have that.
characters. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about it's just even the chemistry. It wasn't like to me, it wasn't similar.
It doesn't have to be like a
no,
love
like,
connection.
it wasn't like their
chemistry.
chemistry was similar as Hustle and Flow, but their chemistry on this show is fire. Like it's to me,
Okay,
it
I
always
get it.
made
Weird
me
hearing you say
smile. It made me smile
I
every
can
time.
see it on this one. I can see it on this one. Okay, you guys feel that chemistry.
Yeah, it made me
they
smile.
definitely have chemistry.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm not going to deny that.
Terrence was giving like everything. He's like, you don't talk to me like that. He's so into this, like in the moment on
That's
every
great.
scene.
That's
Yeah, I
just-
mean,
love it.
he's giving those classic Terrence moments. Was it just me or the flashback scene when they had just did the drop and she was talking about how Panther, I think they're getting ready to set us up for let us know probably next episode how exactly she went to jail. But is it just me? But did her eyebrows look like she was always surprised in that scene?
What is the point? I thought you were gonna say.
I thought you was really like.
No, but now that you do bring that to
her eyebrows look like she was always surprised.
now that you do bring that up, I'm thinking. I know we're not at predictions yet. I'll just wait to say before predictions.
Oh, you finna say something about the eyebrows?
No, I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't even notice that. I was in the scene.
I didn't hear that.
But I'll say this for predictions.
So anyway, one thing I did really like is how when they did the flashback and they were, I think, at the dinner table, and Cookie was telling Lucious about how he needs to bring his levels up on his voice, and his music, his voice is getting drowned out, and blah blah blah. It really showed that she was the talent, or it's not. I don't want to say the talent because they did it together. So obviously they had a partnership, and she was just as much a part and contributed just as much.
So knowledgeable
to him, to the music and the sound, and she has an ear for music. So they're obviously both really musical, which is probably one of the things that connected them, their love connection to begin with.
Yeah.
I think
he
they
held
might be down
him
later.
down, and just like he just dropped her for some Holly Berry look-alike, and
No, she took the fall. She took the rap for him. She took the fall.
But he should have waited.
Which is what happens. I mean, what could he do but wait? She's locked up, and then when she got out, he got her a place.
Moved on with his life.
Well, what is he supposed to do?
I mean, I'm not saying
He
it's
built an empire, which is what he was supposed to do. He's taking the company. And what's really funny is the one thing I liked that was really realistic is how she came out and she was like, "I want half." Like, and he just laughed because realistically in business, at this level, he does. He has investors. He has a board. He has people.
he doesn't own half.
He does. He said, "I only have like a 10% controlling interest in the company." There's no
But it's
half
not real
to
like
give you.
P.Diddy has all control.
No, I think that's
No,
really how it is.
no, he does
Really?
not.
You have
No.
your board of directors.
How about
Yeah,
Timberland? Because he was just named like one of the biggest, like the
Well,
most
Timberland-
money.
Timberland's
Doesn't have his own record company.
Right.
That's
Doesn't have
off
a
of-
label.
But he
like that.
manages artists though, right?
Different.
It's just it's a little different.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm just
Sit back in the cut.
But yeah, I liked how they actually went in and they addressed that, so people have an idea
Of what goes on.
business, a real big business, because obviously he's built his empire to a level of corporate magnitude where he's like, actually, they're considering offering it on,
On those
to taking it,
stocks,
going public with it.
That's
right?
big.
Yeah,
too.
That's huge.
Yeah, which she didn't know anything about, but
That was crazy how she comes in and she's looking around like, he done made it big.
Right.
Off my $400,000. I'm like, dang, that's a lot of money now.
Oh, it's drug money.
Wait. 17 years ago,
yeah.
which was probably before she got locked up, because they were already doing the music thing before she got locked up. So that's probably close to 20 years ago. $400,000.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money.
yeah.
It's still a lot of money. I don't know what you're talking about.
When
It's
she
still
said,
a
I
lot
was like,
of
she was
money.
like, my little four. I was like, ain't no little $400,000.
Right.
All off of drug money.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know anything.
I mean, she did try to come back, and that's how she was able to get Jamal, was to use that against him, saying that it was all drug money that I procured for you, and
So that
Right.
she did
Yeah.
say it. So that is what it was.
Yeah.
It was drugs.
Now, one thing that intrigued me, I don't know about you guys, but in the audience, one thing that intrigued me about Andre, because Andre just seemed like a real square cornball type of guy.
You didn't
Him
like
and his-
him. We get it.
Him and
okay.
his little wife or whatever, right? And he really showed that he had some of that
grit.
grit when he went to go see his mom, and he proposed whatever that they come up with. They concocted this little
Plan, yeah.
this little plan.
But she doesn't really know what he's thinking behind all
No,
of
but
this.
that
It
just
is-
goes to show
it
you
is,
that he has something up his sleeve,
Yeah.
and he's savvy enough to probably pull it off. He might get caught up with Hakeem and whatever. I don't know what's going to happen, but he's savvy enough to make some moves that I thought I was surprised. I was like, this dude.
But does he really think his brothers are gonna off each other or something, or like get?
Well,
like,
it's not. I don't think that the brothers are going to off each other, but you can see the tension by the end of the episode where the two brothers was publicly named that they're putting out an album, and so now you have all of the different looks and dynamics. So you can tell that there's going to be problems because you have the mom who's managing one, and then you have the father that's managing the other. And Taraji and Terrence have already said, "I'm coming after." Well, Taraji, Cookie did say that I'm coming after you, so that's already competition. So now the sons are obviously gonna be in some kind of competition, and then the son said that he's gonna actually come out and be gay, which is gonna put a thorn in Lucious' side.
Especially since she said that she's going to use that
Yeah.
as a marketing ploy
Yeah.
to say, oh, my father didn't accept me or blah, 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 and use that against Lucious. So that would actually be That would actually might crumble the empire.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. It looks like to me that everything that they're doing to
It's
try to
counterproductive.
to build this empire is actually going against it in the long run.
But, and then if you think about it, who is the shit starter of all this? It's the older son, Andre, who started all this because he's the one who got Cookie to do this. And so now...
He just gave her a little education. That's it.
Yeah.
He just gave her a little education. And she figured the rest out for herself.
Yeah.
Remember, she's still the mama. She's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cookie is smart. I hope people don't write her off because she just got out of jail. She's savvy. She's smart. And
I mean, you can see that, though. They don't make way that she's a dumb woman. But
Right.
I like the dynamic that's between her and Lucious because they're both pitted against each other, but they're still kind of like tight. Like they still kind of love each other. You can tell that
they had that one scene where they were drinking and stuff, and
like you're beautiful.
Yeah,
you just believe everything
flirting
Terrence
and
says with them eyes. Like
well, we can see that Uncle Vernon knows, who's played by Malik Yoba. Malik, what's up? That we can see that he's actually part of Andre's little agenda.
What is going? I mean, they didn't really give anything. What's going on? So he wants Andre to take over so he can be like the second-hand man.
Well, he's been the one that's been groomed, and obviously Lucious is gonna, put somebody else in charge. But he's the Andre is the most qualified to do it.
Yeah.
He's the one that's been groomed, and he's the one that actually, when they said he went to college, he came home for the summers and still worked at the label. It's been his passion. So, which is really funny that he even mentioned that because it seemed like he would be the one that you would naturally give the power to run the company. But obviously, he's worked closely with Vernon this whole time since, Jamal's off doing his thing.
What
Hakeem
is Vernon?
is young.
Well, I think with Vernon,
part of the board.
Vernon is securing that when Elle dies, that he is a part, that he's not left out and he's not totally left out of the
But does he know? Does Vernon know that? Lucious,
I don't think anyone else knows that.
Only
what's
he
going
hasn't
on
told
with
anybody.
Lucious.
So
Well,
you're right about that.
The manner in which they were standing and the way they shot that was that Vernon might know some things that Andre has planned up his sleeve, and he said, "I just hope that you remember me when you're in the pilot seat. Don't forget about me when you're in the pilot seat."
You think Andre knows that his dad is dying?
Well, no, they don't know.
They might not know to that degree, but they may know some things are changing.
Yeah.
Because
Bunk did say that something is happening and something's going down. So if Vernon is the right-hand man, he can probably feel that something is happening and he could be left out in the cold for this. So which is why he's working. I thought that scene when Cookie walked into the office.
Oh, when she interrupted the meeting.
I thought that was a hilarious scene.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that was all part of the plan.
Yeah.
For Andre's plan to have Cookie.
Did you not see what Andre did? He just went on with the meeting.
And then he went on with the meeting.
He went on with the meeting, and he was running the meeting while Dad was tied up over here with Mom.
I'm pretty sure Cookie knows her kids pretty well. I'm pretty sure she knows that Andre's trying to play her, but she's going along with the game.
I don't think Andre's trying to play her. I think Andre is just...
He's trying to pin her.
He's just maneuvering for himself. I don't think he's trying to play Cookie. He's been there for all this time. He's like, look, Ma, this is what you want to do because this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm trying to do.
I think he's doing it. I think he's doing it in favor so that he can get the company.
I want to say something real quick. I know we have to wrap up soon, but is Andre sick or does he have some type of he's always taking pills?
Yeah.
So what?
I totally Does
he have like a mental?
Yeah, you're right. Does he have a mental?
I don't know. I thought she was like saying, take this because you know how you get.
You know what I was thinking? I thought maybe he had HIV.
Because he was gay, too?
No, Andre's not gay. I don't know.
Gay.
I know, but she's saying down low or something.
I don't know.
That's
that
too
will
much.
probably unfold. I know. But he was taking pills. I just wanted to bring that up, and they didn't say anything else.
It's going to come back.
Let's go to predictions real quick, since we're already talking about what we think might be.
That was a lot.
Well, then I have two.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You guys are something else. Two of the triplets. Anyway, so what do we see happening for episode 2 of this first
we have news and gossip,
season.
by the way.
Do we have news and gossip?
We do.
Yeah.
Let's go to news and gossip. Bamm Ericsen with the news and gossip.
Really quick. So last night, Empire, debuted to 9.8 million views.
Nice.
It topped it matched How to Get Away with Murder's ratings for season premiere. And for Fox, this is their top rated show that they've had in 3 years since 2012 with Touch with Kiefer Sutherland. So that's really good. Congratulations to everyone involved with that. And then, you know, 50 Cent has been in the media saying that y'all biting off power.
You know,
there's similarities.
Let me address this. They are two similar shows as that they both have black people. And that's all I'm going to say.
I can't. That's all.
I'm always wanting you. I think you're going to say something like, yeah, but then it's like, yeah.
I totally agree. I think 50
hating.
No, I don't think he's
not
hating.
hating.
But I'm just gonna leave it at that because I'm trying to get on power.
Powers is, I mean, we do power.
We do power.
I love power.
I'm trying to get on the power show.
We want to be on the power show too.
I was like, what are you saying? Because I was like, y'all
Or Empire War.
Oh no, Empire's great.
Well, can we do predictions? Because I really want to.
We can go prediction now.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I do think that it's going to end up being that Lucious set Cookie up. Just from how the whole thing, she was feeling uncomfortable and he was trying to assure her, hey, nothing's going on. Just keep going on with the drops and stuff like that. I think we're going to find out that Lucious is the one who set up Cookie. And I think we're going to find out that something's going on with Andre. That's maybe he has a possible illness. I don't know if ALS is hereditary or maybe he has something else going on with him. So those are my predictions.
Okay.
Bam.
Well, I was gonna say I do think that Lucious has something to do with the setup of why Cookie's in jail. But then I also noticed that I'm assuming that was Andre who was in the backseat of the car because he's the oldest, which is interesting because he seems the most distant from her. You know, he didn't visit her in jail at all.
None of them did they?
Right, but
no, Jamal did.
Jamal did, but Andre did. And then when he said, "Well, you know, Mom, I'm sorry for not visiting you," I didn't feel honesty with that.
Yeah.
So I feel like he also knows what's going on or something. I'm not sure, but I think there's a reason why Lucious had decided to make sure that they don't visit the mom. I think he's tried to do something to plant in their head that she is not fit or the one or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that Jamal's going to end up, you know how they're playing his character, we like to see arcs in character, and they're playing his character so docile right now, like he's the meek
underdog.
one, he's the underdog, and we're going to see him really rise up to the occasion because seeing him perform, that was powerful.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of that, so they're definitely going to give us more of him rising up to the occasion, like going head to head with Lucious, you know, with his mom.
I would love to see that too.
But performing and actual...
But that gives him his
It all
confidence.
comes like when Beyonce says she has her alter
Lord.
ego. It's all an alter ego.
Oh,
you know,
not a Beyonce reference.
it's all an alter ego and stuff, and it's a dual. You see, I'm gonna get into some powerful. Y'all don't want to go
So
there.
Thad, what is your prediction?
Well, I think that obviously they're gonna, the authorities gonna be sniffing around and trying to figure out what happened to Bunky, for one. Secondly, I don't think that Lucious had anything was setting up. I just think she, and her not figure it out after all this time, after 17 years, I just don't see that she's not smart enough to have figured out that she was the one.
How do you know
that
she
got
doesn't know?
set up.
How do you know she
I just
doesn't know?
don't. I just don't see that.
She kind of.
You owe me a
I
cookie
just think,
if it does happen.
I think she decisively took the rap for something, or took the fall for something. Not that she got set up. I don't think that he set her up. But we'll see. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens with that. I think ultimately Jamal's going to be the one to take off.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go.
Well,
So anyway, where can we find you guys until next time?
You can find me as Erica J. Green on Twitter, Facebook, and every social media thing.
You can find me at just Lina Green on Twitter, Instagram, and Lina Green 0032 on Facebook. I just found that out today, guys.
And you can find me at all social media at Bamm Ericsen.
And you can find me on all social media at Club Thaddeus. Until next time, After Buzzers, peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.